Chat, we go. It's Cam versus Zapatos. Only Cam and Zapatos are not actually playing. It is Firstkiller versus Diaz. Sorry, this one happened really quick. Let me update it as quickly as I can. Oh, wait. Diaz is probably the higher seed, right? So now everything should be correct. Firstkiller should be on the blue team. Diaz is going to be scoring first. These guys have played once recently as a part of my little tournaments. We had the Feer versus Chat crew battle. Chat selected Diaz as their champion with the first overall pick, and I selected Firstkiller with the second overall pick. Then Firstkiller went on to win 2 matches in order to clutch it out, including one that was against Diaz when Diaz looked like he might start making a run. So Firstkiller, the more recent win. Both these guys have been looking extremely comfortable in their matches leading up to this. And I think that it really shouldn't be happening this soon. I want to blame Firstkiller's MMR and ranked for it without knowing exactly what it is, because I'm pretty sure I see Diaz chilling at around rank 1. So the fact that these guys are playing as early as they are, they should only be matching up on the final day. Must be that Firstkiller's not grinding his one's MMR up as much as he could have before starting this tournament, which is relevant because I think that that's how the RLCS will work as well. You know, if these guys want a solid seed when RLCS does finally starts for 1v1, they're gonna want to make sure their ranked reflects, you know, their true ability, which it certainly does not right now for Firstkiller. I think he'd be 1-2 in North American chances here with Diaz. Maybe Daniel you could throw in there as well. Evo is maybe in that conversation based on his salt mine and his close series against Diaz in this same tournament that I'm talking about. Firstkiller, oh my goodness, dude. I was about to say he boomed it way too high. Firstkiller loves to boom the ball and just put insane power on it. But this one felt like too much, and of course it's perfectly crossbar down and in. Because why wouldn't it be with Firstkiller? Is this an official Epic tournament? It is. Yeah, this is the North American Cash Cups. There's one for every region. Nice dribble from Diaz. Just keeps this going forever. That he eventually gets the beat on Firstkiller, who, you know, is sitting there prepared, ready to make a save. But just thought certainly that dribble must be ending here soon. Yeah, they have put up a ton of money here for these Cash Cups. There's going to be a lot of them, not just all 1v1. There's a bunch of different game modes. You can maybe Google Rocket League Cash Cups to find an announcement to say when they all are, when signups are for them. Because signups are open for everybody. And I think that that's what Epic is really looking for in order to show the efficacy of these tournaments, you know, whether or not they're getting people to play the game in the form of signups. So if you've ever been thinking, hey, I want to play a couple games, maybe I get matched up against Firstkiller because my MMR is kind of low, think about queuing up into these, and you're giving a little +1 to Epic as well, that, you know, they're doing the right thing by creating these opportunities for players to play. Diaz headed to the side wall. Wanted a full 100 boost instead of the 60, and is now reading Firstkiller, who is moving like a madman in defense. And that was his strong suit when he played Diaz last. Just seemed to be everywhere. This time going to the ceiling and can't get back down. Good read from Diaz to not go for a slow dribble and recognize the counter is to just power the ball towards the net. We need a petition for Proverb to be permanent mod. Once the power gets handed over, they just instantly get corrupted so fast. Proverb probably changing all the rules. Are you doing that 2v2 tourney with NA teams next, or NA players? I would like to. I talked to them about it. I guess I'm not sure. People said that DDoS is not fixed. Some people have implied that it was fixed, or a lot of people were banned. So I'm not sure if they can get good lobbies now or not. But I'd be down to run it either way. Problem is, NARLCS is coming up here soon. There's probably no time to do it tomorrow, and then NARLCS is going to be happening, you know, over the weekend. So maybe next week if they still were down. I think we had a lot of fun watching the EU version of it. Firstkiller able to dodge the demo here. Is Wavy still good at ones? Yeah, he was still a strong player. He's, you know, a favorite for day 3 for sure, if not late into day 3. My hope is to be able to stream all the Cash Cup stuff, so EU final tomorrow as well. I will be doing my best to get involved there. I'll have to reach out to some admins. But I should be able to. Diaz off the side wall. Nice reset shot. A beaut. A beaut from Mr. Diaz. I should have watched it again, actually, but I skipped it. You mean bother Epic Games again? Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right. In fact, I'm going to go send an email here right now. Live during this game. It is a pretty crucial game. Maybe I'll wait 1 minute. I guess I can wait 1 minute. As Diaz up 6-5 with 50 seconds left to go. What's on the line right now is they're in a double elimination bracket all the way to the end. So getting sent to lowers. Both players advance to tomorrow no matter what. Even if they lose. Nice shot from Firstkiller. We had somebody mention earlier, he felt like they're just letting each other score. But you could watch from Diaz's perspective. Where he was positioned at first, you know, was not wrong for where a shot might be headed. But Firstkiller just hezzies enough times and then puts it behind him. 40 seconds left to go. Firstkiller is going to force a kickoff goal in. That bump will push him in. And just like that, Firstkiller swaps back control in his favor. Diaz on the attack in the blue half. Firstkiller starved a boost, which has got to feel good for Diaz's chances here. He's got a ton of time, 20 seconds, more than enough time to take, you know, whatever he needs in order to get the right setup. This air dribble does get 50'd out, and now Firstkiller has boost to work with, so it's a little bit more urgent. So he needs to find a way to create an advantage quickly. He does not have one right now, and Firstkiller grabbing that boost all but ends it, but I guess we'll have to see. Firstkiller on a ball carry. He could fake it or touch it. He's going to elect to shoot it, and now can put it anywhere on the green grass on the other side of the field, and will for the game 1 win. Okay, I'm going to email them about EU. Game number 2. Firstkiller won game 1 by the skin of his teeth, so naturally it's time to trash Diaz. Call him slow. We'll have to see. He does like to play really slow, to be fair. He does like to play controlled, especially with his aerial attack. I would say his aerial attack is slow. He will, like, just break you down and read you all the way across the field. Firstkiller likes to play especially fast, so there's a good chance that anybody will look slow in comparison. He loves just booming the ball left and right and playing at top speed, which is actually very unique. I would say Diaz plays to a similar pace that you'll see from the rest of North American 1v1ers. It's more Firstkiller who's unique in his breakneck speed. This is the kind of slow play that I'm talking about with Diaz too. So willing to just reset the field, take it to his back wall, slow it down. Ooh, nice little pop up to himself. Grab some wall dashes to sail through the corner and not get slowed down. And then he is way ahead of the play. Firstkiller's dashes will come way too late. The Onius Cam will give it 3 months. Cheering for Diaz, Diaz, Diaz. Diaz needs to come back in this series, and he's doing a decent job of it already here in game number 2. You gonna do Cash Cup or Mina RLCS tomorrow or both? Both. Probably, yeah, we'll just decide which one's more interesting at the time. And then I think we're going to have a gap between that and NA RLCS Cash Cup. Or sorry, obviously the World RLCS doesn't make sense there. NA Cash Cup. Strong ground pinch, but Diaz made it back down. Now he's dead though. So it should be Firstkiller with his opening goal here in game 2. It's cool that you cover smaller tournaments. I mean, listen, there's nothing small about Firstkiller playing Diaz. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not RLCS, and it's not one of my own tournaments. But nice movement from Firstkiller. It does not get much bigger than these two players in NA right now. So while I appreciate the sentiment that I'm some sort of hero, these guys are very good, and we'd all gladly love to watch it. It's so nice of you to give bubble players a chance. Yeah, I'm so generous. Diaz can't create anything in the air. And wait. What? Maybe I'm crazy, but did Diaz not make a massive mistake by sending that off the back wall, allowing Firstkiller a really easy read on just a shot on the net while Diaz falls into, like, I guess not. I guess I'd have to go back. I mean, what does he think is going to happen there? Because Diaz, he hit it to the back wall and then he's floating. Because he's floating, he can't adjust at all. So there's like no movement he can make to really make a strong save. So I would have expected a follow-up shot, but I mean, Firstkiller's the, top player at the end of the day. So there could have been a good reason I missed. Not every English-speaking streamer watch parties mean a Swiss stage, for example. Oh, gotcha. So you were actually talking about Mina. I think there's some fun games to be seen. Oof! Pre-flip flick from Diaz, though. Firstkiller has the read. I like streaming, too. I like going live almost as much as possible. So, nice slots. So, I love a good set of games, and there's definitely good enough games during that Mina group stage. Especially when they used to have the tiebreaker games. You guys see that they got rid of the tiebreaker games? So early on in the GSL stage, which I'll be honest, I don't even know. What does that mean? Is that group stage? What's the L? Group stage leverage. So in the group stage leverage, they take out that tiebreaker game for the winners. Nice full field Diaz challenge here from Mr. Diaz. It's named after him for a reason. Global StarCraft League. Yeah, so in the Global StarCraft League stage, they used to have this little tiebreaker to decide which side of the bracket you went. I actually didn't hate it. And I felt like it solved some of the issues where Swiss going into GSL could like screw some people over, but then it always got fixed by your ability to win the tiebreaker and then put yourself on like a better side. But I know some people weren't big fans of it. And now it's gone. So it doesn't mean less good games on that first day because the strongest teams would play each other on that day. Diaz starting to get exactly what we expect from him going. Firstkiller dropping the next. I have to leave as well. Game number 2, tie series. Diaz fights back. Beast Mode said they had trouble locking in for that match. I mean, I could see that. It obviously is the least meaningful match of all the matches that day. But what you got to think about is oftentimes with this hybrid bracket, there's a side of the bracket that's so much scarier and so much worse. And you can swap it by winning those tiebreakers often. Now, the downside, which is a fair criticism, is you can also potentially put yourself on the right side of the bracket by losing, which, you know, any format where you could potentially be like, a loss looks kind of good here, is a bad format. So for that argument alone, I could see it. Just removing any game you might look at and go, ooh, loss be looking kind of nice right now. Should have made it so the winner could pick their side. That solves people throwing on purpose. I think the problem with that is both teams who won will want to pick the side based on where the other team goes, you know? They'll be like, you pick, no, you pick. No, you pick. And there's no way to like decide who gets to pick first. They might want to intentionally dodge each other, or I don't know. I don't think that really works out, but I like the idea. The thought process. No ideas are bad ideas here in this chat, okay? Everyone should feel safe and loved, right? Type 1 in chat if you feel safe and loved and your ideas are respected. Why is it just, why is it exclusively twos? I thought it was like you type, streamer says type 1, you type 1. Diaz is up 3-1, by the way. As we need to get locked in here to this match. You guys aren't locked in. Firstkiller, big kickoff win. Tie game here in a tie series. Diaz, wow, what a save. It did seem like he slotted it, and I didn't even think Firstkiller got a touch, but he's going to get credit with a save, and a blue trail coming off of it means he perfectly was able to snag it. And now continuing to dive on the ball and force his pace. That has worked so well for him. Going to get a demo staring at a wide open net. He won't miss it. And now he has the lead. Firstkiller, quick kickoff control into a flick. A two-pointer here to break what was a neck and neck game. Has him pulling ahead. Firstkiller on that setup. I am DCing. Are we dropping frames? We are. This is rare. Does not happen to me very often with the new fiber. We're fully gone. Hopefully, we came back after not long before, but we're gone right now. DC, I don't know why I'm talking. I guess people who are watching on a recording got to see some of that. In fact, where the recording is back and the live is not. So hopefully on this next attempt, it'll bring it back. We'll keep watching here. As long as we can stay in the game and keep watching it, we will. Those watching back later will get to see everything, or at least more than what the people on the live are. It is still attempting to reconnect. What I don't understand is why it hasn't picked it back up yet. As Firstkiller up 6-4. People type 1 in chat if you're back. No one should be back just yet. I'll go ahead and pause and start the stream again if it doesn't connect on this final. There it is. Now it should be back. Type 1, type 1. Everyone should be back. Diaz has brought the game to within 1. It is refresh time. And ooh, what a save from Firstkiller. I'll go type in the chat that it's time to refresh as well. But yeah, our fiber has been, you know, truly impeccable, I would say. It has been good for many months. Not even a single drop frame, but it's obviously having a little bit of issues today. As Firstkiller back to making it a 2-goal game. Such an aggressive challenge, but it would have been a really impressive one if how Diaz connected. Is interesting to watch back from his POV. Did Diaz just own goal here? I'm so confused here. I looked at chat because the chat's recognizing that we're back, but I think this is an own goal. Yeah, Diaz gets bumped off of his angle slightly, ends up hitting the ball towards the net, and own goals. Diaz dying as he looked to try and keep his offensive attack going. But he does respawn and make a play on the ball to prevent a Firstkiller goal. As Firstkiller will reset into his own back corner. This is not my upload. This is like my full-on everything because my connection to the game, I know it might be hard for you guys to tell when I do disconnect, but it's like I had nothing, you know. The cars were spinning around in circles on my screen while we were gone. .21 seconds on the clock. Pivotal game 3 here as Diaz gets a roll over the top. Can he keep it underneath the crossbar? He should be able to get back. And now within 1 with 11 seconds. Another reminder to refresh. We haven't dropped frames since we came back. So you should not be having any more issues if you do. Diaz has boost control here. Ball falling down. Firstkiller's going to back off. Great chance here for Diaz. Tied up and a high bounce. Firstkiller reads it and dunks it right away for a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. Game number 4. Stream up time 3 minutes. Wow, we're getting lazy. We are getting a bit lazy with the 3-minute stream today. Diaz potentially getting sent to the lowers here if he is unable to win 2 more games before Firstkiller gets 1. Big kickoff win for him. Camera check to see what Firstkiller's up to. Nice recovery. Pinning the save off the post. Diaz going right back on the attack. Faked here. Firstkiller jumped, but Firstkiller's going to end up making the save. Firstkiller just finds ways to get out of tough spots defensively. It seems like, you know, maybe a wrong decision to fake and not shoot or something by Diaz, but it's all earned by Firstkiller the way he has defended against him. Has him second guessing. We have ourselves a tie game. Diaz overshooting it on the wall dash. Has to slam on the brakes immediately. Can't get the side flip to put the ball towards the net. Firstkiller. A fast recovery out of the corner. In order to get back, the back flip to start it. These guys are now playing at Firstkiller speed. I just feel like this is going to eventually favor Firstkiller if they keep trying to play this quickly. Although Diaz shots seem like it stood a chance. Firstkiller does deny it. Challenge now. Diaz slowing it down a little bit. Baiting Firstkiller into the port 50 and wants to beat him on the goal line, but let the ball get too close to Firstkiller, who positioned in just the right spots on the shadow. Another save. Firstkiller preventing the 50 from finding its way in. Diaz keeps the attack going, and now I feel like he's thinking twice about things. Decided that going off the backboard for the double was better. It almost feels like putting in a tough shot and continuing to starve out a 0 boost. Firstkiller would have been the right play, but Diaz is still on offense here. Look at the creativity from him to eventually find a way through. Just going vertical with his car and landing late to push it around. Finally get the opening he's been so desperately trying to get. And now he's up 2-1. You always wanted a spam proverb? That's not why we give people the sword. The sword is to be used honorably. Firstkiller not going to have as tough a time saving that one. As Diaz from the back wall. Something we've seen from him before. What placement, dude. Diaz is not just barely getting it there to the goal line. He is getting a read on the defender and finding where he needs to put it in order to make sure it actually goes in. And this time, it's top shelf and a 3-1 lead. Yeah, Group 1 is pretty crazy. Clearly, there's no human involvement. I think it's all just automatic seeding from ranks. Firstkiller. Quick conversion off a kickoff to kind of keep himself from striking distance here within 2. Rank seeding just isn't the best way to seed everybody because not enough of the ones grinders are like grinding to make sure their one's rank is perfectly appropriate to their skill level. So it's just going to result in stuff like that without, you know, direct invites to tournaments and stuff, like how oftentimes Johnny or I, you know, running a tournament might go. It does look like it might be game 5 for the culture. How do you seed EU when Moxie is all of the top 50 seeds? Yeah, for RLCS 1s, he would have been like... had like 4 or 5 accounts in the top 10 or something like that. Or 3, I can't remember. I tweeted about it. But he would have had a lot of the top seeds. Yeah, we do get to see good games early because of it. That is true. Firstkiller demo. Fake on the Diaz respawn. He actually was going to be able to recover and dive in front of the ball in time. But the fake makes him miss. Diaz never getting a reset here and then going for a pogo so close to the net. Gonna have a tough time getting the outplay without moving that farther back and kind of baiting somebody into a challenge. Ooh, Firstkiller within 1. Dicing him up on the ground. Oh, is Diaz banner Canadian? As he is able to convert on a kickoff. I was wondering why people kept talking about Diaz being Canadian. I see it now. Yeah, no, he's got a Canadian banner. I don't know why. As far as I'm aware, he has no connection to Canada at all. But who knows? Maybe he just likes red and whites. Diaz staring at a wide open net. Oh, I was going to say, I've been surprised before by Firstkiller's recoveries. So maybe he finds a way to get back. Fix YouTube stream audio. Is it delayed or something? Can you refresh that one? We lost the stream for a bit. I am less versed in what to do about that when the YouTube stream dies. Firstkiller within 2. It gets auto set when you use the sorry quick jet too much. Kickoff win and boost for Firstkiller. Has to convert pretty much on this take. Can't really afford to even get saved once, I would say. and that is what happened here, as he does his best to try and score quickly afterwards. FK long shot is in, so he has a chance here. To be fair, I think it's because Diaz stayed aggressive and kind of went shooting. Look at that. He fell down to the ground with 0 boost. I mean, you don't have to set up a situation where you're ever doing that when you have the lead. Just hold on some boost, go for a fake, bring it to the ground. Just make sure you can recover. Diaz instead going to have to rely on his kickoff ability here to force game 5, and he does exactly that. We're going game 5 in Firstkiller Diaz in the NA Cash Cup. Game 5. Firstkiller and Diaz. Winner advances into the winner's bracket of the double elimination. Loser heads to the lowers, but both of them headed to the final day either way. Diaz chipping over the top of the Firstkiller and will be the first to score. Firstkiller starting an air dribble from his own box. Diaz pre-jumping it. Able to hold on to 20 boost as well as he lands. And will clear it into the opposite corner, but we're going to see a similar setup. Actually, this time, Firstkiller going ground. And the fake flick maybe could have worked. It didn't seem like an intentional fake. He was trying to put it out behind Diaz. But he also did miss it by a decent margin, which I wouldn't expect either. Firstkiller just kind of bailing on this attack. Didn't feel like it was promising enough to send everything at it. And tried to back off and be safe, and yet it's not going to matter. Diaz is still going to get his second goal. Great pass up to himself, and the power shots out ahead of the recovery. And a 2-0 lead for Mr. Diaz. The Big Lebowski. They have the tier 1 for 5 months. Diaz kickoff conversion. The flick to make it 3-0. Firstkiller pinning this one away. Diaz, can he keep this attack going? Firstkiller just trying to use dashes in order to catch back up. Firstkiller maybe, or sorry, Diaz expecting a different bounce there. It seemed like he wanted to start an air dribble on the sidewall, but he's going to be forced back down to the corner. He wants a bump, potentially. Did he find his way in? He did! He found it over the top of Firstkiller. No bump needed. If we watch from Firstkiller POV, he floats up here and then just barely can't get back to that second touch. 4-0 for Diaz. Big lead. The only bright side for the Firstkiller fans is that he's gotten this lead fairly quickly, so lots of time left for Firstkiller to make it back. Good save on the musty top shelf. But Diaz still in control. Firstkiller waiting in that corner to get 100, and it's going to react to this late. Gets, oh my goodness, Firstkiller. I was going to say gets beat by the fake that goes crossbar and down, but he does such a good job to recover and still make a save. Problem is he needs more than defense right now. Diaz so clean with his control. Oh my goodness, the placement as well. Instantly in a rhythm with the ball. He's able to get a reset shots out around Firstkiller. Diaz, heavy first touch, tries to adjust for that by going high and going for a double. But it was never going to be an easy angle. And now has dropped the ball right on top of Firstkiller's car. That is troublesome. Built himself a 5-goal lead just over halfway through. Game number 5. Is it going to be enough to keep off a relentless Firstkiller, who certainly has what it takes to come back in a match where he refuses to lay off the gas pedal? Diaz can't go over the top Firstkiller this time. who does find a way to grab his back corner boost and quickly flip onto the back wall to get a perfect landing, be ready to go, and set up a little offense of his own. Diaz, almost getting demoed. Still not in a great position with about a pad's worth of boost, although I'd say take that back. He did a good job pathing over a few more, keeping his speed and getting a decent flick. Firstkiller got a touch, but not enough. Diaz always in control, it would seem, at least in this game 5. Even when he's low boost, back in his own nets. 6-1, this time he's not going side wall. He's going to wave dash cuts. Firstkiller returns and stops that attempt. Probably needs a goal right here, it would seem. Based on the way this game has been going, if this possession doesn't convert, it's going to be near impossible. Diaz not going to take this one off the back wall the full distance. Does make sure to get a reset. Bumped a couple times by Firstkiller. He needs a soft first touch and then a quick angle on the net, and that's what he gets. So 4 goals to make up. Minute 10. Firstkiller. Not able to intercept this pop. Diaz has the reads. Firstkiller drops the GGs. Game 5 going to Diaz. Quite the performance to clutch it out. 2 games in a row. And Diaz will head to the uppers to strike back against Firstkiller.